Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready to dive straight into this champion selectors. Oh my god! Okay, so let's go through the bans. Azir, Orianna, Ashe once again here for BLG. They realized that changing it up didn't quite work out. Talia, Tristana, and the Ahri all taken away. And the center has been taken off the board by BLG, which we raised some eyebrows at. But that's Oner's Nidalee! He's allowed to have fun, Chronicler!
What, is this reversal world? Like Shun picking it, that's one thing. Canyon picking it, of course he would.
They're using all of their things against them. This is so cool from BLG. It is definitely a flex though.
Yeah, I hope so. We'll see what ends up happening.
Oh, sorry, the Nidalee's a flex?
Yeah. I mean, I hear Faker played Nidalee that one time.
That's true. He did play it that literally one time.
Yeah. It was relatively recently, right? Like it was in this decade. Wait, never mind. It wasn't. It wasn't.
Not even close.
Okay, it's not a flex.
Okay, Twisted Fate.
Jax?
What is this pivot for BLG? What? Okay, let's calm down. Let's evaluate what BLG is doing.
Yes.
It's highly likely that the Oner is going into the support position, given that the Twisted Fate has been locked in, as Alice has just highlighted for us. T1 have decided to blind lock in Nidalee. I have questions that are irrelevant right now, as Kalista will be locked in, and you have to imagine T1 will now remove some of the annoying jungle matchups for Nidalee, would be my guess. Okay, Vi, gonna be taken away.
I've imagined that T1 there was thinking about whether or not they wanted to lock in the Jax. I think Jax is one of the few picks we've seen work well into the TF. Also sets up for the Nidalee, and there you go, BLG obviously gonna take that away immediately.
Very cool thing though, does mean that with the Jax ban having to come through, it means that one extra ban doesn't get thrown at Faker, right? So maybe he'll have another pick that he can go for. I believe this is also the latest we've seen Kalista picked so far in the tournament.
Might be.
Unless I'm just completely off the mark, but it definitely feels like a very late Kalista pick here for T1 with their priority on the Nautilus and the Nidalee for Oner, wanting to join the party of people that are allowed to have fun on Fun Cats in the jungle. Nico going to be banned away from Knight, and we'll see whether it's Faker that once again gets a little bit of a look as far as these bans. The LeBlanc, I guess, is probably the next one on the list.
You would imagine so. Try and pinch that pool as much as you can. I'm trying to think. I mean, BLG should get rid of, I was going to say, another top laner.
Yeah.
Camille makes a lot of sense. So now,
is it Vayne?
It might just be Cassante again, and then you swap.
Yeah, just accept that you're going to get bullied. You can look for the swap, as you're saying, Vedi, to try and get out of the first couple of levels.
Oh, the Zac is another one. Zac Nidalee doesn't feel like a lot of power. Nidalee Vayne is also a bit frightening, and that is the Cassante being... Oh, that's just... What? That's a Yasuo?
Yeah, of course.
No, obviously it's Zeus as Yasuo into the Twisted Fate.
Perhaps.
Genuinely.
This is just like steal everybody else's cool ideas day. I love it.
They're both doing it.
Yes, that's the best part. Oh my god, okay. I thought that this series couldn't get better, and then it's getting better, and then it got better again.
Knight, what have you cooked for us? Your pool has been pressured, and I'm going to be honest, Knight, it feels like that the more the pressure gets put onto your pool, the worse you have an impact. Your ability to have an impact definitely seems mitigated. We saw some great plays from you on the Nico, but after losing the flash in mid lane, that Akali eventually was able to bully you out and had a good time. So what have you got for us? Knight, Cerulean Soul.
This is BLG going in really hard on the guys. Even when we were behind, our team fights were so insanely good.
Now,
that's an Annie.
Knight's Annie is something we have seen before. Last year's MSI, he won it. Okay, like this is a champion that he is very comfortable on. It is one of his go-tos. It's a relatively short-range composition from T1. I mean, aside from the Nidalee, and I guess the lethality.
Wait, no. Faker.
Are we getting it?
Faker's Yasuo.
Or is it Faker's Zac?
It's Faker. Hang on a second. Let me scroll down 800 champions for a second, shall I? Because is he putting another one on the board for the second time? Surely he's... No, I don't think so.
Is this his first ever professional Zac game?
Professional Zac game, as far as my eyes are concerned. Looking down this list, yes.
Faker adds another one to the list.
And last time he did that, it was the Aurelion Soul this tournament, and it wasn't fantastic.
Doesn't
we'll
matter.
see.
Doesn't matter. It's cool, Atlas.
I
It's
know.
really cool.
He gets to be a blob. And also, Faker has been incredibly good over his career for the entirety of being a facilitator for his team. And this champion does that extremely well.
Really, Zach is just Galio with extra steps, okay? He has a little bit less range, but he has a lot more uptime on his E.
What are you talking about? He's a better Malphite, okay?
I actually kind of thought he was going to lock in Galio, I'm not going to lie.
And I actually thought about it, and they have Yasuo, so the power of this Zach skyrockets, and so many more opportunities should be there for Zeus to hit these, but this is all execution. And then on the other side, BLG, it looks like they're pivoting towards full team fight, and then we get the Annie Zinzao 2v2.
Okay, I take it all back. Faker has played Zach in the LCK.
Okay.
I don't remember when, which year, but he has played it. This is the first international Zach that we have seen. Sometimes things slip through.
Apologies.
So
we got a little ahead of ourselves.
I think the problem is the stats only
It
go
just
back.
doesn't go back far
far
enough.
It's like we're talking like
He
season
may not
4.
have played it this decade.
Which version of Zach is it as well?
Yeah.
Was it Scoop the Whoop Zach?
Yeah, no, he hasn't. Wait, actually, no, because he had a different ultimate, but then before that, it was the same ultimate. So don't you worry, it was the bouncy bounce Zach. Faker had it changed back and it went straight back into the champion pool. Don't you even worry about it.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so let's kind of...
Oh, it's
calm down.
camouflage Zach as well, because of course it's Faker. He's playing the base skin.
So I will say, if you run lethality... They're not running lethality Kalista. Okay, fine. So, like, I was going to say, this composition kind of is a bit disjointed in what I wanted to do, because if you had lethality Kalista...
What? That's the flash forward, the hook! He's going to land as well as the spear. Knight is ignited, and then we'll just back again.
Why? What was...
That's for vibes.
Oh,
that was a vibes
invade.
flash. But also he now gets Hex Flash, which is far more valuable than actual flash, as we all know.
I mean, I guess, but he's also going to burn his pot. Like, I'm shocked that they thought that they would have enough damage to be able to make that work. But all right,
they got a
Keria
teleport.
commits his flash.
They got a teleport out of it, I guess. Maybe that's what?
True, they did get the teleport.
Also, no stun for Knight. I don't think that's really going to matter. Obviously, Faker is just going to try and get in short trades while sustaining up as much as he possibly can. Pick up his blobs.
Pick up all those blobs. Of course, Zach is a champion that is quite frustrating, especially for a play-by-play commentator, because I like to, you know, get ready to call for kills, and Zach just doesn't die, and it's quite frustrating.
But he does go into his blobules, so...
He does get smaller and smaller over time, though, so...
That's true.
He can possibly get as small as the Annie eventually is.
Okay,
Yeah,
he's
Zeus dashing around.
All right, so we take
also, we have a correction. This is his first Zach.
So we were right.
Yeah, I was fed information that was incorrect, and it is actually confirmed the very first time that Faker has played Zach is now.
Can't believe you don't know every single champion that Faker has played over the last 11 years.
Yeah.
Well, I do, obviously, because my first one was his first time.
Yeah.
So never you mind.
Okay, so.
Yes.
The compositions. Let's kind of look holistically at what T1s want to do. Because Nidalee, I mean, it's a long-range kind of poke champion that we've been seeing a lot leveraged into things like Sejuani because of your ability to, I think, say, oh, he's not fine. He's not fine. Jun knows.
And now Zeus is going to walk over that wall. There's the flash forward. And they're going to trade flashes. Jungler flash, not as valuable as top laner flash, though he can make his way back at any point.
Crucially there, Shun tried to get the blind W because he wasn't sure about the base timer, but as a result, Zeus, who was in the other brush, got the time to actually walk over. All that Shun knew was that he wasn't in the third brush.
So, I wanted to keep talking about these
team
comps, but every time I
do.
try to, these teams, I'm not going to have a chance. Oner, ooh, nice smite, but Oner sees the blue is still up. The problem
Now
is
he knows that Shun doesn't have the smite available, the flash available as well. As Wind becomes lightning, Shun just going to try and do battle. But this is not the range he wants. There's the pounce! And there's first blood for Oner! This is his Nidalee that he wants to play every game and isn't allowed to because he's playing Sejuani. Oh my god! He's shown us exactly why he wants it.
He channels his inner Canyon. Through the power of Canyon skin, he's able to find a solo kill. He'll steal away the blue, but now Bin wants revenge.
Yeah, he's going to get jumped on here as there is a tornado not finding the mark. Great snare from Al, because now Oner is definitely dead. Left to the wolves, and now Faker could be in trouble. Stretch Armstrong is exactly that. as he does just elastic slingshot his way over. Little Faker will make his way out as the Zach.
So Oner overstays his welcome, and BLG create the collapse. Nice roam from Elk to move after the reset towards the top side of the map, and they're able to find a kill. 1-for-1, BLG still with a gold lead, again because of Bin's passive. There's a big wave for Zeus to be able to collect, but still getting that kill as well puts him in a fantastic spot.
Take another look at this. Crucially, this is the punish from Oner because he just went for a full clear, whereas Shun went for the topside gank. Didn't end up working out. Means you're going to be delayed on your clear. And then that spear is the one that seals the deal. Oner knows he has the damage. Crucially, though, as you pointed out, Vedi, because of the power of the TF in the early, in these early skirmishes where you can lock a member down, plus a great roam from Elk, still be able to get the punish. And Zeus is, even with the fact that Shun helped Bin out, still really struggling. We'll have to see if that gets better as he gets a little bit further along in the levels. Early trade's not really what he was looking for.
Yeah, and I do want to just go back to what these compositions do, right? Because they are quite different. Yep. And with the pivot over to the Annie instead of the Aurelion Soul, it does add a bit of early game power. But BLG, in the later stages of the game, are going to be so incredibly strong. T1, what kind of lead do they need to get in this game for T1 fans to be happy?
Well, I think T1 still have pretty good scaling just because of what the Yasuo is capable of doing in a side lane.
Oh, they know.
Level 6 secured for Zeus.
There's Bear.
But also, like, I think that the thing about Nautilus plus every time.
Every time, Betty.
The thing about Nautilus plus Zac is it's such a powerful front line that I think the PLG's comp might struggle to deal with in these fights. And you think about the poke, I think one of the best ways to deal with poke is hard engage, right? So you look at Ornn, you look at Annie, Xin, great champions for actually closing that gap. But, I mean, truthfully, these fights have been chaotic.
Whoa! There's another flash forward. The Bellow's Breath is perfectly buffered, and then he gets out with a searing charge. On playing it absolutely beautifully, but still, they lose out on the trade.
The reflex time there from Ornn was crazy. No flash spent. Oh, the hook goes wide.
That was some beautiful observing, I just want to say. Heal's still going to be invested here.
Okay. But now Oner has his eyes set on a bot lane play.
And I think he avoided that ward as well, is now looking at the shooting gallery here. On does headbutt the wall, but still tagged by the spear. The extended pounce not going to be taken until the minion wave gets in. His Keria. Oh, he tries to buffer still. He is able to get out. The auto attack comes in though, and there is the kill for Elk to follow.
It was On who actually cancelled Keria's dash there with his pillar. So Keria doesn't actually make it out.
Is incredible.
Which allowed Elk to get that final auto off. Still though, T1, it's a 1-for-1 trade, but Knight did invest his TP towards the bot side of the map.
That he did. Faker, I don't think he's going to be able to do much as a result of it. He's just going to blob his way through the lane, yeah. But an intense exchange in this early game. Kind of what we've come to expect from this series. Both these teams kind of butting heads. The Grubs was secured by BLG earlier. The Dragon is an objective available. We turn our attention to the minimap once more as it's On to hold the line against Faker. He's going to be trying to hold this wave, ideally for Knight to be able to catch. And here comes Knight right now.
The early pressure point of this Nidalee is going to have to come up huge. And I'm so interested to see how both these teams also are going to play these comps, because there's a lot of elements on either. You can play front to back with BLG's comp, right? You have a lot of CC with the TF, with the Annie, with the Ornn you can front to back. Senna is really strong in this situation. Xin has a lot of area control in fights.
Not get tagged in there. Almost last breath territory, but needed to land the tornado.
I mean, it's true that like there's teamfight elements on both. There's poke elements largely on the side of T1.
All in.
There's all in. There's dive. There's a lot of factors which definitely make these comps.
Which I think is his own kind of composition.
These comps are a little weird, to say the least.
Yeah.
And so what I'll call this is a learning opportunity for us all. We're gonna find out how these team fights play out later on.
We're gonna find out together.
We are.
That we are.
The thing that I really love about this, though, is the fact that Zeus is the one that has picked the off-the-wall pick. And all year, it feels like Zeus has played two champions. Almost in every single game. He picks his flavor of the month, you know? And, yeah, plays TF every single time, right? He did play some Zac here and there, but it did feel like he was sticking to what he knows. He's the one that's pivoted massively in this game as another bear is going to land on Faker. Faker looks somewhat perturbed, but blobs will then be on the ground, and then he steps on them and everything's fine.
Yeah.
And he gets to build like the Spectre's cowl in this matchup as well. He's like, Tippers, where are you going?
He's going to be fine though. It's T1 to start off the Dragon. Nice control they have over the bot side of the map, BLG. I think BLG in early fights are disadvantaged, just because Kalista plus Nautilus is such a powerful duo, and BLG are going to wisely respect it for now. Of course, Annie, Xin, no slouch either, but because Jun is on the top side of the map, there's not much he can really do about it.
Faker he's really trying.
He's really trying to buff up Knight's damage stat at the end of the game.
There's gonna be a whole lot of that. One important thing though is that this counter pick so far, we haven't really seen the impact of it. Obviously Bin was able to pick up that early kill, I think that they found on Oner. But outside of that, even in the 1v1, he has been doing a really good job. Summoners haven't been forced, and we are even seeing TP from Zeus towards the bottom half of the map. Something else we haven't talked about yet is the fact that with the wind wall, ons engage windows are going to be a lot harder as well.
That's true.
We
that's
mainly talked about the offensive power of this Yasuo, but we'll have to see how T1 gets to use this defensively, as this is a 2 versus 4 towards the top half of the map, but Oner is on his way, will get spotted. T1, do they read the play here or not? As we do see Knight already heading back with the wave getting pushed in the mid.
What you need to be doing with Senna.
Oner gonna face check as there is Shun, gets the flash out as Destiny to follow immediately. Bin heads on over and Oner has nowhere to go, and it's a kill to Elk as well to start getting him stacked up.
A blunder there from Oner. He saw them on the control ward in the top side, didn't respect the possibility of them moving back through his side of the jungle, and he gets caught out. BLG find themselves another kill. Will get 5 grubs as well.
We're again seeing why there's such a priority on the TF. Getting these type of mid-game picks will mean that as a result, BLG going to be picking up a whole lot of grubs, and it might look for a play here as well.
Yeah, Bin is already ghosting towards Gumayusi. He manages to get the cleanse out, but now Keria finds himself all alone. There's the Fate's call, but there's the train on top of them. Still, Gumayusi going to be taken down. The train went nowhere in sight, but gave him nowhere to go. And BLG continue to pick up kills, and it feels like it's against the flow of what should be happening in this game.
I love that Elk has just abandoned playing with his support and instead is just working with the jungler to find plays on the map. The pressure they're exuding is starting to overwhelm T1 as they turn their attention to this tier 1 in the top lane. Very close to even taking it down.
Yep, Sphere going to go wide there. Is now a teleport in. T1 really trying to find a depth charge. Going to get on top of Elk, but he sidesteps the spear. And now Faker, he's bouncing around, but he's trying to use it to escape. That's not what they really wanted. Now he has to flash, gets under the turret. He'll survive, but they won't win the fight. And the turret is more than doomed. That's first turret blood as well. And that is a big gold lead.
Zeus is on the other end of the map, and he doesn't have his teleport available. BLG playing as a unit.
I've seen this Yasuo before, Chronicler.
He's just off by his lonesome.
He is.
He's a lone wanderer, and he'll get the turret maybe eventually. Obviously, a lot of sums invested towards the top half of the map, so probably should be able to get it on this wave. But BLG gonna be feeling great. Only a single Void Grub here for Zeus.
I mean, it's a situation where I felt like T1 was trying their best to buy time, because BLG committing so many members could have even threatened the tier 2 in the top lane. The fact that they only got a single tier 1, I think is still fine for T1, because they're able to cross-map and they make the trade happen in the bot side of the map. Now, of course, it is BLG that still have the gold lead for now. Faker has found his lane opponent, actually has the XP advantage, and now that he's completed the Spirit's Visage, he should feel quite confident in his ability to trade against the Annie. Of course, Malignance with the Tibbers is quite a powerful combo.
Yep, it's another nice fellow's breath there from On, able to grab himself the cannon minion as well. So a little bit more quiet right now. With that turret going down, it was now a 1,000 gold lead for BLG. Those 5 grubs going to be very, very powerful though, especially with Bin on this Twisted Fate in a side lane. As Gumayusi moving his way out. This mid-control going to be aim of the game. Is 1 minute until the dragon.
For T1, we're going to have to see them get an actual team fight. We talked a lot about the team fighting power of BLG. If Knight and Elk ever get caught, if Bin ever gets caught by this Zac.
Oh, there's the round. Guma is going to have to flash, but he still gets tagged. Dawning Shadow comes in, but I think Gumayusi's safe. Keria still looking for more as there's the knockoff. as Zeus makes his way in, but he cannot get in amongst this fight. BLG will just be denied a kill.
Goes for the ult, but it was on Ornn. Maybe if you go for Elk, you can get something out of that. And now T1 have used 2 ultimates, trying to deal in this mid-wave as On going low.
Maybe On was the target, as Oner is going to let us know. More spears connecting here as Faker dives in once again, gets the knock-up onto Shun. Stretch Armstrong out there as well as Keria looking to get himself amongst it. Faker absolutely massive here in this front line, and so they will be able to push them away and collect the Herald. It feels like T1 feeling stronger in these fights now.
I mean, T1, they had a really nice turn onto the aggression from BLG in mid lane that actually got Shun's ultimate out, On's ultimate out, and so because they know that Bin also doesn't have the teleport, they leverage their advantage from Zeus, and they're able to create this collapse and secure the mid-tier 1. Well played, I think, overall from T1. Has been cross maps on the bot side to keep the map stayed even.
Means that we will maintain that gold lead for BLG. Not really moving meaningfully one way or another. The Drake, though, is up right now, and with Chemtech already off the board, so many strong Drakes still available. Faker doesn't have TP, Knight does. We'll see. I imagine both teams are really wanting to go for this. You see Faker, he's like, guys, I have places to be. Knight, though, is going to get it back in, going to be able to TP with a fresh buy.
Faker hovering in mids.
Pretty good elastic slingshot angle as Keria finds a minion. Still there is Faker channeling, dives on top, gets right in there onto Shun, but the ulti is going to be there. Let's Bounce comes on through. Destiny has been channeled, and Faker going down very low. Shun is almost just dead. That is a massive pivot into the backline, and there goes Zeus. And Faker's bloblets will not survive either. Now the train will just crash on in as Oner not going to be able to find anything, and BLG will run them down.
And just as it looks as T1 has found an angle, a big angry bear ends their dreams. Mid lane turret is gonna fall. A massive, massive fight for BLG.
Knight with his Annie finds the play. An impressive Tibbers swings the fight in favor of BLG, will secure them 2 towers. And I think they're just gonna be happy with that. The Dragon is a little ambitious, but what a team fight from BLG.
That was absolutely extraordinary. It felt like T1 had them where they wanted them. Knight had a different theory. Still, it's going to be the second Dragon for T1. Despite the fact that the gold is overwhelmingly in favor of BLG now, at least those Dragons are starting to stack up. Let's check it out one more time.
Big thing here is that they see that the Zac is coming, so they have time to respond. With Zac, you want to try and look to come from an angle where they don't see you coming, but the ultimate from Bin tells BLG everything they need to know.
Just keep your eyes on Knight here. The flash engage catches T1 completely unawares. I was waiting for the ultimate from Yasuo to come through, but it never really did. It felt like T1 was in 2 minds about whether they wanted to commit to the fight. But you gotta remember that if you test BLG, they will respond. And this time round, it was BLG that passed with flying colors.
Yeah, some cheers there, but still feeling a little bit stoic on the side of the coaching staff for BLG. I mean, it ain't over till it's over, but it's feeling pretty good for now. Close to 4,000 gold the lead, with a composition that is going to get so much money worth of stats from really cool items that Ornn gets to build, as well as the fact that their champions do scale so beautifully, Senna in particular.
There's a lot of gold cheating going on. There's the passive as they hook shot. That's a Xin Zhao though, and you see T1, they're hesitating. Zeus, even though this counter pick looked cool, hasn't had any impact yet.
Yeah, there's the audacious charge in here from Shun as Zeus puts down the wind wall. Can they actually find the fight that was on? A massive ultimate. Can he find it? The ramp doesn't really work out, but still, BLG will tear Gumayusi apart. Zeus down to about 100 health. Keria is dead. Elk's gonna be able to get another one here as the gold card finds the kitty cat, and Bin is on a rampage. Faker, he finds 1 kill back against his opposite number, but that is all they will get. And BLG win a second fight in a row.
Extraordinary is the only word to describe BLG's team fighting. They catch Zeus out in the jungle, and they convert it into another ace. Incredible performance as BLG ride this wave into a 7K gold lead.
T1 desperately trying to turn a rough situation. Zeus getting caught, trying to turn it around like they have done so many times in the LCK, but instead They pay with so many lives, and the key thing here, I think, is the positioning of this fight. And BLG is just always ready to go. Even though the gold card doesn't connect, look at T1, you see they want to walk up here, but they just can't. Even with Keria connecting the hook. The combo of that ultimate from Elk and on sets up the fight, and once Faker arrives, it's already way too late.
It's something that we see consistently from BLG, which is they control space that belongs to them. And immediately after winning that fight, they knew they had the gold leads, and oh, hang on a minute, Faker,
yeah.
Okay. But again, you're seeing it now, they're pushing in the bot wave. What do? Move into the enemy jungle, because this space belongs to them. And T1 thought that they could fight back in the top side, and they were punished. Now they're being chased out of their jungle once again, as BLG sets their sights on another tower.
Should be able to get this inner turret here as On is moving over. The Ram is at the ready, or the train, I should say, this particular skin. Inner turret down to 50% health. That is going to be a nice route onto Zeus, who's now trying to get himself out of there. Tibbers is dead for now. It's a good knock-up, though, onto Faker still. He's pretty tanky. Depth charge going to be absorbed by that Crescent Guard as Faker dives in. I don't know about that one. He didn't even have cell division. He's just going to fall down. Now Gumayusi has to flash. It's a decent hook. But Keria, where's the follow-up? Double kill for Shun as BLG push for the inhibitor turret bot lane.
T1 desperately try and find something, but BLG is ready to outplay their every move. Inhib is gonna fall, and they don't feel the need to push on. But it's looking like BLG, with this lead, almost 10k now, is about to move to match point.
A single fight was all BLG needed. We're only 20 minutes into the game, and the kill score is 16-3. The goal difference is 9,500. And it's Faker that tries to find the... I stand corrected. On is the one to initiate the play. They turn their attention onto Shun. A good ulti from him buys space, but then Faker oversteps. Gumayusi gets stunned on the back line, meaning it's hard for him to follow up. They're immediately forced to retreat. And Keria, thinking he'd found an angle, instead only found an angle to his demise.
You see T1, they try and get that dream combo of the Yasuo Zac off, but the reality is, even if somehow Faker connects onto Elk, onto Knight there, and they get those, I don't even know if that's enough. BLG is so far ahead, and as you're saying, we're only not even 22 minutes in, but we are sitting at 16-3, an absolutely insurmountable gold lead. Knight showing off on the Annie, 8 stacks on the Magi's now.
I love the confidence.
I will say, I think that this series has really been about Bin. I mean, he's found so much impact in every single game, and even in the game that they lost, he was still finding ways to navigate his way through the team fight. Obviously, an international veteran at this point in his career, but he's someone that wants to continue to get the better of T1. Last year at MSI, BLG surprised the world when they knocked T1 out of the tournament, and this year, they're looking to maintain that record and return to the finals for the second year in a row.
Well, there's the flash bear from Knight as Oner trying to get out of there, but Dawning Shadow in the kitchen sink will hit him in the back of the head. They'll turn it into a kill on Aguma as well. And BLG, I think they want to end it right here.
BLG is sitting in double smite, but they're not even going to use that on that summoner. You don't need it. They can look for the amp through bot lane here with Oner and Guma dead.
Merciless is BLG as they show zero restraint. 23 minutes in, the Nexus in their eyes.
Only 3 members of T1 here to try and defend. They have no money, they have no chance. Keria is going to go down. It's a decent last breath, but I think it might definitely be its namesake as Faker will get surrounded and destroyed. BLG with one Nexus turret between themselves and victory. They'll take it a little bit slow because maybe they want to get a couple of extra kills, as that flash is not going to do it. There are trains flying across, there are bears coming from the sky, but the Nexus will be destroyed and BLG will head to match point in the series.
BLG off the back of Bin getting counterpicked. It didn't